If you're over 50, protecting your prostate isn't optional, it's essential. And today, we're exposing the 5 everyday foods silently working against your prostate health. Most men eat at least 2 of these every single week, without realizing the long-term damage. Stay with this video, because food number 5 will not shock you. In fact, it's probably sitting in your kitchen right now. Let's get into it. Bacon may be a breakfast favorite, but after age 50 it becomes one of the most damaging foods for your prostate. Its high saturated fat content fuels inflammation throughout the body, and inflammation is a major driver behind prostate discomfort, enlargement, and urinary issues. Every serving adds another dose of inflammatory fuel that your body has to fight off. The sodium levels in bacon are also extremely high. Too much sodium tightens blood vessels, increases water retention, and disrupts healthy circulation. When blood flow to the pelvic region is affected, the prostate doesn't receive the optimal nutrients and oxygen it needs for proper function. This is one reason some men notice their urinary symptoms worsen on days they eat heavy processed meats. Bacon is also loaded with nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that help keep it looking bright and tasting salty. When cooked at high temperatures, these additives form compounds that increase oxidative stress. Oxidative stress accelerates tissue aging, including within the prostate, and forces the body to work harder just to maintain normal function. The combination of high heat and bacon fat creates advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These compounds are known to intensify inflammation and disrupt normal cellular repair. For men over 50, the prostate is already more sensitive to inflammation, making AGEs an added burden the body shouldn't have to handle regularly. The excessive fat in bacon can also influence hormone balance. Diets heavy in saturated fats have been linked to higher levels of certain hormones that may encourage prostate enlargement. When the prostate grows even slightly, it puts pressure on the urethra, causing weak flow, more frequent urination, and nighttime bathroom trips. Another issue is the way bacon affects metabolic health. Regular intake of processed meats is linked to insulin resistance and weight gain, particularly around the midsection. Extra belly fat increases inflammatory chemicals in the bloodstream, which then circulate directly to the prostate and surrounding tissues. The result is a cycle of inflammation that becomes harder to break with age. For some men, the digestive effects of greasy foods like bacon can also lead to bloating or abdominal pressure. This pressure may not damage the prostate directly, but it can make urinary symptoms feel more intense and more frequent. Men with enlarged prostate symptoms are often more sensitive to even small shifts in pelvic pressure. All of these factors make bacon one of the worst foods to rely on after age 50. It places unnecessary strain on the prostate through inflammation, hormonal disruption, oxidative stress, and circulatory challenges. Reducing bacon, not necessarily eliminating it forever, can be a meaningful step toward better prostate comfort and long-term health. Fried chicken might be comforting and flavorful, but after age 50 it becomes one of the most problematic foods for your prostate. The deep frying process saturates the chicken with unhealthy fats that drive inflammation throughout the body. Since inflammation is a major contributor to prostate enlargement and discomfort, every serving of fried chicken adds more strain on an already sensitive gland. The oils used to fry chicken are often the biggest issue. Most commercial frying oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess, push the body into an inflammatory state. As men age, the prostate becomes more reactive to inflammation, making fried chicken a food that works against long-term prostate comfort and urinary function. Another problem comes from the high temperatures used during frying. When foods like chicken are cooked in extremely hot oil, harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products begin to form. These AGEs increase oxidative stress, which can accelerate tissue aging, including in the prostate, and interfere with normal cellular repair. The crispy coating on fried chicken is also a hidden trouble spot. That seasoned breading absorbs oil like a sponge, making the final meal even higher in fat and calories. Excess calories and weight gain, especially around the belly, lead to increased inflammatory chemicals circulating in the bloodstream. These chemicals directly affect the prostate, worsening swelling and urinary symptoms. Fried chicken is also notoriously high in sodium. Too much sodium disrupts the fluid balance in the body and can tighten blood vessels, reducing healthy blood flow to the pelvic region. Poor circulation means the prostate receives fewer nutrients and less oxygen, making it harder for the gland to function optimally. Another overlooked issue is that heavily fried foods can slow digestion, causing bloating and abdominal pressure. For men who already struggle with an enlarged prostate, even slight increases in pelvic pressure can intensify the sensation of urinary urgency or incomplete emptying. This doesn't damage the prostate directly, but it makes symptoms feel significantly worse. On top of that, the combination of unhealthy fats and refined carbohydrates in fried chicken can contribute to insulin resistance. Metabolic issues like insulin resistance and elevated blood sugar are linked to higher inflammation levels throughout the body, creating an environment that places even more stress on the prostate. All of these factors make fried chicken one of the worst foods to rely on after age 50. Its oils, fats, sodium, and high-heat cooking methods all work together to amplify inflammation and weaken the body's ability to protect the prostate. Cutting back on fried chicken, or replacing it with healthier cooking methods, can be a powerful step toward better urinary comfort and long-term prostate health. Whole milk cheese may taste rich and satisfying, but after age 50 it becomes one of the more problematic foods for prostate health. Its high saturated fat content fuels inflammation throughout the body, and chronic inflammation is one of the main factors that can worsen prostate enlargement and urinary symptoms. Every slice adds more pressure on an already sensitive gland. The dense concentration of saturated fats in whole milk cheese can also influence hormone balance. Diets heavy in these fats have been linked to increases in certain hormones that may contribute to prostate growth. Even a slight increase in prostate size can make urination more difficult, weakening flow, and increasing the number of nighttime bathroom trips. Whole milk cheese is also naturally high in calories, and it's easy to overeat without realizing it. Excess weight, especially around the abdomen, raises inflammatory chemicals in the bloodstream. These chemicals circulate through the pelvic region and increase pressure on the prostate, creating a cycle of inflammation that becomes harder to control after age 50. Another issue comes from the sodium content found in many cheeses. High sodium intake can tighten blood vessels and affect healthy circulation. When blood flow to the prostate is reduced, tissues receive less oxygen and fewer nutrients, making it harder for the gland to maintain normal function. Men often notice that high-salt foods make their urinary symptoms feel worse. The processing involved in certain whole cheeses can also introduce compounds that irritate the body. Additives, preservatives, and high levels of saturated dairy proteins can add metabolic stress. When the body is consistently under stress, inflammation tends to rise, and the prostate feels the impact. Digestive discomfort is another factor many men overlook. Whole milk cheese is rich in lactose and can cause bloating or gas in people with even mild lactose sensitivity. This creates abdominal pressure that can worsen the sensation of urinary urgency or pelvic discomfort. The pressure doesn't harm the prostate itself, but can amplify existing symptoms. The dense, fatty nature of whole milk cheese can also slow down digestion. Sluggish digestion increases the likelihood of constipation, and straining during bowel movements puts additional pressure on the pelvic floor. For men with an enlarged prostate, this added strain can make urinary flow feel even more restricted. All of these factors make whole milk cheese a difficult choice after age 50. Its saturated fats, sodium, hormonal effects, and digestive impact work together to create an environment that is not friendly to prostate comfort or long-term urinary health. Reducing whole milk cheese, not cutting it out entirely, can significantly support better prostate function and overall well-being. Donuts may seem harmless as an occasional treat, but after age 50 they become one of the most problematic foods for prostate health. Their combination of refined sugar and unhealthy fats triggers inflammation throughout the body, and chronic inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to prostate enlargement and worsening urinary symptoms. The extremely high sugar content in donuts causes rapid spikes in blood glucose, followed by sharp crashes. These constant fluctuations increase oxidative stress and inflammation. Over time, this inflammatory environment places extra strain on the prostate, making it harder for the gland to function normally. Donuts are also loaded with trans fats and saturated fats, two of the most harmful types of fat for men over 50. Trans fats in particular have been linked to systemic inflammation, poor circulation, and hormonal imbalance. When circulation weakens, the prostate receives less oxygen-rich blood, which can worsen discomfort and contribute to urinary problems. The way donuts are prepared adds another layer of trouble. They are deep-fried at high temperatures, creating harmful compounds like advanced glycation end products. These agents accelerate tissue aging, increase inflammation, and interfere with normal cell repair. For a prostate already sensitive to age-related changes, these compounds only make things worse. Another issue is the calorie density of donuts. They are small but pack a large caloric punch, making weight gain more likely, especially around the midsection. Belly fat is metabolically active and pumps out inflammatory chemicals that travel directly through the bloodstream to the pelvic area, raising pressure on the prostate. Donuts also contain refined flour, which offers almost no nutritional value and contributes to insulin resistance when eaten regularly. Insulin resistance and elevated blood sugar levels are known to increase inflammation, creating a cycle that negatively affects the prostate and surrounding tissues. For many men, sugary and fried foods can also lead to digestive discomfort, bloating, and gas. Even though this doesn't harm the prostate directly, it increases abdominal pressure. That pressure makes urinary urgency, weak stream, and nighttime trips to the bathroom feel even more intense, especially when the prostate is already enlarged. All of these factors make donuts one of the worst foods to rely on after age 50. Their sugar, unhealthy fats, high heat cooking method, and impact on weight and inflammation work together to create an environment that strains the prostate from multiple angles. Cutting back on donuts can make a meaningful difference in long-term urinary comfort and overall prostate health. Beer may be a common way to relax, but after age 50 it becomes one of the most troublesome drinks for prostate health. The combination of alcohol, empty calories, and inflammatory compounds places added strain on the prostate, especially for men who are already experiencing urinary symptoms or age-related prostate changes. Alcohol itself is a major contributor to inflammation. Regular beer consumption increases inflammatory markers in the body, and since the prostate is highly sensitive to inflammation, even moderate drinking can worsen swelling. A slightly swollen prostate can press against the urethra, leading to weaker urine flow and more frequent trips to the bathroom. Beer is also a diuretic, meaning it increases urine production. For men over 50 who may already struggle with urgency or nighttime urination, drinking beer forces the bladder to work overtime. This effect is especially noticeable at night, leading to interrupted sleep and a constant feeling of needing to urinate. Another issue is the impact beer has on hormone balance. Alcohol can interfere with the way the body regulates testosterone and estrogen. Shifts in these hormones may contribute to prostate enlargement over time, making existing urinary symptoms even more pronounced. Beer is also high in calories and can contribute to weight gain, particularly around the abdomen. Belly fat increases the production of inflammatory chemicals that travel through the bloodstream and directly impact the pelvic area. This added inflammation puts more pressure on the prostate and can worsen urinary difficulties. The ingredients used in beer, including yeast and certain grains, can cause bloating for some men. Abdominal bloating creates additional pelvic pressure, which intensifies the feeling of urgency or incomplete emptying. While the bloating doesn't harm the prostate itself, it makes prostate-related symptoms feel significantly worse. Regular beer drinking can also affect liver function, and when the liver is overworked, inflammation levels in the body tend to rise. This systemic inflammation doesn't stay isolated. It affects multiple organs, including the prostate. Over time, this contributes to ongoing discomfort and reduced urinary control. All of these factors make beer one of the worst drinks for prostate health after age 50. Its inflammatory effects, hormonal impact, diuretic properties, and contribution to weight gain create a perfect storm that challenges the prostate from every angle. Reducing beer intake can make a noticeable difference in urinary comfort, prostate function, and overall well-being. Protecting your prostate after age 50 comes down to making small, but powerful choices every day. Bacon, fried chicken, whole milk cheese, donuts, and beer might be enjoyable, but each one pushes inflammation higher, disrupts hormonal balance, strains circulation, and amplifies urinary symptoms. Reducing these foods isn't about giving up everything you love, it's about giving your body a better environment to heal, repair, and function the way it's meant to. Even small adjustments can lead to noticeable improvements in prostate comfort and overall health. Choosing healthier alternatives, staying active, and staying hydrated all work together to support a stronger prostate as you age. Your future self will thank you for every smart choice you make today. If you're serious about feeling better, sleeping better, and living with more confidence, paying attention to what's on your plate is one of the best places to start. If you found this helpful, make sure you check out our other videos for more simple, science-backed tips to support your prostate naturally. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs it. Your journey to better prostate health continues with the next video.